Once upon a time, there was a character named Gollum, and there was a character named Rick.
Scott is a former governor of Florida. He's chairman of the National Republican Senatorial Committee.
Tell me that Rick Scott does not look like Gollum. Do you know who Gollum is from Lord of the Rings? You know who he is?
I'm talking to you.
Welcome to another episode of The Gremlin Cave. Who Rick Scott is? 70-year-old politician from Florida. He used to be the governor, now he's a senator.
Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings.
He looks just like Gollum. He does. Him and Gollum look the same. Here's a video of Gollum from Lord of the Rings.
Up the stairs we go.
They have the same eyeballs.
Where you really notice all these things come together in a character like Gollum, especially, is in the eyes, because the eyes are just these great spheres that absorb all the light that come into them.
They have the same nose. And they have the same smile. Same color skin.
Look closely in the film, you can really now see that the pores, the wrinkles, the fine skin creasing needed to have this believability, this fleshiness that you see when you look at humans.
The same head. It's the same. I had to look on IMDb to see if Rick Scott played Gollum when Lord of the Rings came out.
Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings, Lord of the Rings.
He did not play Gollum. Was Gollum inspired by Rick Scott? I don't think so. It was a book and written by Tolkien, I think, like in the 1930s or 40s, 50s. I can't remember.
Will it rain in spring?
Was the movie version of Gollum inspired by Rick Scott? Maybe. No one has ever said no.
Was introducing Gollum. And the key thing with Gollum, as most people know, is that he's
Rick Scott.
Gollum, and it's like a split. But we hadn't got a scene where you really got the idea. Oh, this guy's two people, and he talks to it. So
there's other people that suggested he looks like Voldemort from Harry Potter. Is there term limits in Florida? This person, Rick Scott, he is 7 years old. He's almost the same age as Joe Biden. Him and Joe Biden are like old buds. No?
Doop 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 doop, old time music. Doop 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 doop.
What is Rick Scott's ring? Like Gollum, he lived for the ring. It made him feel better. It's all he lived for it. But what does Rick Scott live for? Power, wealth? Is he trying to impress somebody? Is he also looking for a ring? I think he's married. So technically he had a ring in that ceremony. But is there anything else that Rick Scott just needs? What does Rick Scott need most? Gollum had his ups and downs through the story. He was good, he was bad. But then at the very end, everyone realized he was just bad. He was just evil inside. Maybe he was always evil. Is Rick Scott evil? Is he always evil? Like at the end, will he be considered evil too? Do people in Florida consider Rick Scott evil?
Day for a spring training game, but Governor Rick Scott's reception was far from a warm one.
You're from Florida. Do you find him to be evil? I'm not. I'm not from Florida, so I don't know. I'm from a northern state, but I visited Florida many times.
There were cheers mixed with boos as the governor threw out the first pitch between the Yankees and the Blue Jays this afternoon in Tampa. Florida's highest officer has been at the center of controversy lately, including backing a teacher merit bill that eliminated teacher tenure, as well as forfeiting more than $2 billion in federal funds for high-speed rail.
That's enough for today, is it? No, maybe but yeah. On one side, we have this beloved fantasy movie called Lord of the Rings that everybody loves. Then we also have this politician that outside of Florida, probably no one's ever heard of him, but maybe not loved by even people in Florida. Do people in Florida still love this person?